Bader Ginsburg would have had a place in history even if she had never been a judge or a justice.
I do, Mr. Chairman.
She was the architect of the fight for women's rights as an advocate.
She was someone who used her power to raise other people up. And she not only created a path for herself, but she brought all of us with her.
She was a trailblazer and put herself out there, risking her professional reputation for the benefit of others.
It takes moral courage to push the door open and to be the first to enter.
The fact that she used that talent and that hard work to advance equal opportunity was a great gift to our country.
The excellence of her legal analysis was as important to Justice Ginsburg as making an impact. What a remarkable person this was in every dimension.
She grew up in working class Brooklyn. Her parents had a very strong work ethic. So as a young child, she was taught that she had to study hard and do well in school.
She grew up in a home where Jewish values were rich, and Judaism, which seeks social justice and seeks to better the world, that was a deep part of who she was.
What drove her passion for the law was her sense of fairness.
Rejecting the idea that for women to succeed, they had to be more like men, that women should be treated equally.
She dedicated her life to making sure that vulnerable communities and individuals had equal protection under the law.
Women were routinely assigned lesser stature under the law, and the Supreme Court routinely upheld discriminatory treatment.
Here's a woman who went to Harvard Law School and then did her last year at Columbia, and she couldn't get a clerkship. Finally, she gets a job teaching at Rutgers and has to hide her pregnancy for fear that they would end her employment there. When she was a professor at Columbia, she found out that Columbia had given pink slips to all the maids, but not the janitors, in an attempt to cut costs. When she found that out, she went to the president of the university and she said, "I just want you to know, I'm going to sue you for sex discrimination." And suddenly, Columbia rethought it. She really wanted to be a judge. And then President Carter picked her for the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, and she and Marty moved to Washington.
After careful reflection, I am proud to nominate for Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia.
When she was offered the job of being a Supreme Court Justice, it was the culmination of a great legal career.
Most closely, I have been aided by my life's partner, Martin D. Ginsburg, who has been, since our teenage years, my best friend and biggest booster. Serving on this court is the highest honor, the most awesome trust that can be placed in a judge. It means working at my craft, working with and for the law as a way to keep our society both ordered and free.
She was approved 96-3.
In the summer of 1999, for the first time, Justice Ginsburg was diagnosed with cancer. Everyone at the time assumed that Justice Ginsburg would not be on the bench. And I answered the phone, and it was Justice Ginsburg on the other line, and she said, "Amanda, go tell the chief I'm on my way." In that moment, I learned that there was nothing upon nothing that was going to stop Justice Ginsburg from serving her country and fighting for justice.
She was an unbelievable human being. Her mind, her intellect, her ability to see and be a visionary and a prophet, to be able to see beyond the world that she lived in. I was constantly in this feeling of there's a person standing before me who is larger than life.
Justice Ginsburg was on the one hand a very reserved person, and on the other hand a very warm person. And I think she wanted to make people feel comfortable.
She taught me about kindness. She taught me, along with her husband, about how rewarding and magnificent a marriage can be.
She encourages young people to be involved in grassroots efforts, to fight for those that don't have representation and the importance of doing so.
Just about the time she hit her 80s, she became a public icon. And then she became, as a result of that, the notorious RBG. I think she was very happy to be a feminist icon and marveled about the fact that it happened in her 80s.
And to the day she died, she called out injustice. The final opinion she wrote was a dissent.
Supreme Court Associate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died at the age of 87.
I was leading Rosh Hashanah services in the middle of COVID, and someone came and whispered into my ear that the justice had just passed. And I was deflated. Just a deep sadness rose over me.
I had seen her fight through so much, and I confess that I had started to believe she was superhuman. And I couldn't believe that we had lost her.
She had inspired generations of young women. We need strong role models like Justice Ginsburg.
When Justice Ginsburg was asked, "What do you hope people will remember most about you?" she said, "I would like to be remembered as someone who used whatever talent she had to do her work to the best of her ability, to help repair tears in her society, to make things a little better through the use of whatever ability she has."
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is the role model for what we're trying to teach and create among the people who visit our museum.
Having the courage to stand up and call out injustice when you see it, and then rolling up your sleeves and doing the hard work of fighting against that injustice, that is the story of Justice Ginsburg's life.